Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, the theme park evangelist. Sorry it's a little dark in here, so while I have a few minutes waiting on the car to warm up, I know last week that I did a YouTube video regarding I have been temporarily suspended until further notice from work, something like that. And it was all live streamed. So here comes the interesting story. So when I first went to work at the time, or well, I shouldn't say that. When I first did that vlog at the time is what I meant to say. All my roommate was experiencing was flu-like symptoms, but my work was still, wanting to be on the safe side. They were like, well, let's just go ahead and keep him out of work for now, and let's see what happens. And of course, they had me go get tested, for COVID, and I got tested negative. So I'm like, well, I haven't been around him, so I'm like, okay, whatever, because I honestly see him the least out of everybody in my household. So, then I'm like, well, I might as well just go work at my church then. So I went and worked at my church because all he was experiencing was the flu. And this was before the church got the cleaning company involved, and the church board of directors had to step in and had to make some changes, which is like, not always a good sign. So I went and cleaned the church, and I did like 12 hours, and I was supposed to meet with the lady on Thursday, and literally Thursday morning came, right? Okay, there. Now you can see me better. So Thursday morning came, and I got an email from ILM, which is basically a third-party affiliation with Meijer, basically saying, based on my COVID test results, I was good to go back to work as they were negative. And they weren't too worried about my roommate getting tested or anything at the time. So I'm like, well, great, this is really exciting. So I made a few phone calls and I went back to work. I went back to work for the rest of the week. Everything was going great until Saturday, and I don't know what happened Saturday. It was just a really bad day at work. One of my coworkers was just not with it that day. I did get a chance to say bye to a few friends before they had to go back to school. So I was like, I still haven't been meaning to take care of my college stuff, but you know how that is. It's been a little crazy. So then, I got done with work on Saturday, and I actually did overtime because I was so determined to help them out. But, your body can only handle so much. And I went to the church that night, and I know got the church board of directors a little worried because she was worried that I was going to get the kid sick. Well, I went there on Saturday night before I had spoken to my roommate. Keep that in mind. As far as I knew, he had only experiencing the flu up to this point. I hadn't even seen the guy, nor had I been anywhere near the guy. So, I've been so busy with work, so I had no idea what was going on with him at the time. And then Sunday morning rolled around, and I guess my roommate Andrew was in a bit of a bad mood, and I wasn't sure why at the time, and I asked my brother, so what's going on with Andrew? He didn't even know. So I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. So I went to church that morning, and I'm supposed to be cleaning the church on Sundays, but with the preschool not being there as of right now they're supposed to go back on Sunday. So starting next Monday, they're supposed to start meeting again. So I have been, well, for the most part, you can say that I have been going on Sundays just to vacuum and empty the trash. Well, maybe not empty the trash necessarily, but at least to see how bad the trash was. And I did maybe a little bit of disinfecting here and there, but otherwise that was about it. Well, my parents started complaining last Sunday night because they were like, why don't you stay here? Why don't you spend time with us? And I'm like, well, I have to get the church cleaned, the pastor really needs it done, and I guess they gave me a really hard time about it, so I'm like, fine, I'll skip out from now on, because I didn't know when this preschool was going to start back up. Well, I got told off for it, so, well, I mean, politely, obviously. So now I'll have to let my parents know. So I did get in a bit of trouble from the church board director. She says it is mandatory. I have to clean the church on Sundays, no matter what, no exceptions. So as much as they would like to argue with me, I'm gonna have to be there every single Sunday from now on. And even if I have to go for a little bit in the afternoon, it is what it is, So that's pretty much going to be the thing now. And since Sunday school should be meeting on Sunday night, that means I'll have to get it done before Sunday school meets. So that shouldn't give me a ton of time. I don't know if they're going to be using the fellowship hall or not. I was told that I'm supposed to vacuum the entire downstairs. I'm supposed to disinfect everything down there. I'm supposed to clean all the restrooms down there. And I'm supposed to have everything done on Sunday prior to Monday. And that includes cleaning the preschool rooms. And then I can take care of the rest of the church whenever I can, which is basically detail cleaning the entire offices. And the lady made it sound like that I can also clean the sanctuary restrooms. She didn't even know I had been cleaning the office restroom because she's like, I need you to start doing that. I'm like, yo, you'd be surprised I've already been doing it. Oh, no way. And then I confused her a little bit last week when I told her that I was not in charge of inventory, but I kind of clarified on that. So I made sure she knew that yes and no, I'm not doing inventory. Like, no, I don't order anything. Yes, I am in charge of knowing what we have and what we don't have and relaying that information to the secretary so she can order it. So I helped her get that information clear. And I also let her know that from now on, if there is anything that we need in the janitorial closets, I'd be more than happy to restock it with the overflow, because I didn't want them to go and look for it and like, oh, I don't know where it is, but I do, because Andrew showed me. So anyway, so that's an update on what's going on at the church. Now, as far as, what happened after Saturday. So, yesterday was, for the most part, a normal day. Spent most of the day with my parents. I was tired yesterday. I had a bit of a headache, but otherwise I was fine. And I'm always tired on Sundays, especially since Saturdays are always so rough, And all I kept thinking of was how much I was going to regret going back to work on Tuesday. So here comes the interesting part. So, I woke up this morning. I was in a pretty good mood. I wasn't as tired. I was going to go hang out with my dad all day, and we're going to play Monopoly on the Super Nintendo. So I happened to see my roommate Zane in the kitchen, and I'm like, hey, Zane, how you feeling? Because I haven't seen him literally since Wednesday. This was the first time I've seen the guy in days. I have not been around him. I have not seen him. And at the time I was 6 feet away from him. So, no, I have not, been around anybody with COVID whatsoever, and I have not had any contact with anybody with COVID, period. So, when he told me he lost his ability to taste 4 days ago, I was shocked. I couldn't believe he didn't even Facebook message me at all. I was like, what? And I guess he's been experiencing chills, which is another symptom of COVID. And I'm like, oh boy. So, of course, I had to go call my work, and they're like, well, we need you to do the whole fail the health screen thing again. Well, I'm kind of on edge because, I've been waiting all day to see what Zane's going to do. And I'm like, so, what's going to happen? Is Zane going to go get tested? Am I going to be able to convince him? And then, of course, I needed to know exactly what was going to happen. Like, am I going to be out of work for 2 weeks? Am I only going to be out of work until I know what's going to happen to him? Are they going to let me work still because I have not been around him whatsoever? And I haven't seen the guy in days. Like, I don't know. Is the manager going to say something different than the human resources representative? I don't know. So I'm taking a gamble. I'm going to go in tomorrow morning and see what they say. I'm more than likely wasting my, time right now. But, at least I'm giving it a try. I really meant to get more YouTube videos done, but I didn't know I was going to go back to work that soon, and now it sounds like I may not be able to clean the church until I hear otherwise because of my roommate. So everything's kind of up in the air, waiting on him more than anybody right now. And I'm going to go ahead and get retested tomorrow and see what happens. I still got to get my brother signed up so he can get tested as well, because more or less we're more worried about him and my roommate Zane than myself, because they even said that I don't have to get retested. I chose to get retested on my own this time. So that's pretty much the huge update. TJ made a joke earlier, you should come down to Florida, but he doesn't realize that when I go down, I have to come back and I have to wear a mask around my house for an entire 2 weeks and wherever I go, which I'm already used to that. And I don't think that the CDC, when they wrote that, this does not apply to Kentucky because they already have to. I think they just wrote that in the state, or the sense that if you go down to Florida, then yes, you have to wear a mask everywhere, including your own household and around anybody who you did not travel with. So my brother and I would have to wear a face mask around our roommates and around everybody else who we did not did not travel with. And honestly, that shouldn't be too weird other than wearing around the house. And I think that would be the only weird part. Excuse me, just because we're so used to not wearing a face mask in the house, but everywhere else in Kentucky you pretty much have to. So as of right now, I'm still doing the trip. The tickets are non-refundable to Hollywood Studios, so I've got to make this happen. I'm not going to reassign these tickets at this point and give them to TJ and Kay, say, here you go, have fun, or TJ and Deli and say, here you go, have fun, because that's basically the same thing as throwing money at the window. I'm saying I didn't want this $274.86 in the first place. So yeah, it is what it is. You never know when these things are going to happen. I'm really hoping that I'm going to have enough information for ILM this time so that I can get pay continuation. But, I'll let you guys know. It's definitely been a very interesting year compared to last year, that's for sure. So, it's after 10 o'clock on Monday, January 11th. It's been officially 10 years since my dad's best friend, Paul Carpenter, passed away. So, we still think about him. It's also my high school best friend's mother's birthday. Sure, she's in her 40s by now, or maybe even her 50s, because Guy's probably as old as I am, but she doesn't look a day over 40, so yeah. But anyway, it's about all I have for you guys. I'll give you guys more details on the Florida trip. I'm hoping, if not tomorrow, then sometime this week. It's going to be a little harder because even if I do get forced to stay home, guess what? I'm not the only one that has to stay home. No, we got Andrew, we got Zane, and my brother all forced to stay home. How fun is that? So it'll be all four of us stuck in the same household for 2 weeks. I wonder how that worked out. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next vlog, and always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And I know this has been, a tough disease to deal with, but always trust in Christ. Always know that, He's going to get us through this no matter what. And I'm trying to keep that faith even when I've got people that are ripping down Christianity and all that fun stuff. We're not going to get into that, but you know what? I'm staying faithful to God no matter what. And if I do die to this disease, at least I know I'm going to a better place, and that's heaven, because I know 100% when I was 8 years old, so 19 years ago, because I'm 27 now, that I gave my life to Christ, and I know that I have a better place than this, so I'm not afraid to die. And that's something that the world, or if you do not have a personal relationship with Jesus, if you fall into that category, you unfortunately are not going to agree with me, because you're going to be like, well, I don't want to die, because you either A, don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, or B, you love your life too much here, which is almost just as bad. So, definitely got to start thinking more about life after death and realize that God has more for us than this life on earth. And we were never meant to endure such trials and tribulations here on earth. God never intended it for any of this to be this way. And we just gotta stay faithful and focused on Him no matter what. And when I do see you guys in the next vlog, I promise there will be much better lighting than this. So just stay safe, stay healthy, and always stay faithful in God no matter what. Have a great night. Peace out.